Hello, everybody. How you doing? Did you miss me? I hope so. But if you didn't, too bad. I was busy in the last few weeks, and today, after seeing all the various stupid shenanigans from TKO, I decided today would be a great time to ask the one question everybody's wondering about TKO. If we were back in time, how would they book certain events? Heck, I'll even start with some bonus questions. I'll give you some booking ideas of how they would have booked movies. For example, they would have decided in The Empire Strikes Back, in the famous moment before Han Solo gets carbonated, and he says, I know to Princess Leia after she says, I love you. Right before that, he would eat a Mr. Freeze and really show it on camera, basically there, before he gets carbonated. So basically, you need marketing in this. Oh, by the way, the movie wouldn't be 2 hours and a half. It'd be like 1 hour and 30 minutes and more funnies. Also, instead of basically having Christopher Nolan directing the picture perfect Dark Knight trilogy, let's have J.J. Abrams direct Batman. And like he always does, this talentless hack will basically like do the first movie and say, yeah, I don't want to do the other movies. I'll start another project. I'll start this one, never finish it. And if you don't believe me, see what happens when he finishes the project. Lost and Rise of Skywalker. See what happens. That'd be what TKO would do. They would hire those guys. On TV, I will be honest, I only had two in mind. Friends. TKO basically would make sure that after all years of services, Jennifer Aniston would be fired near the end of the last seasons before basically Ross and Rachel should get together. So there wouldn't be this, it'd be Ross going out and going back to Emily. That'd be the way they would end it. Or Chandler and Monica don't get together. Or even Mike. Mike's not hired. Basically, Paul Rudd is too expensive for them. So never mind. Phoebe's just gonna go with Joey instead. At least it wouldn't be the Joey spinoff, but still, that was a good 2 episode run out of for the Joey spinoff. 2 episode good of an entire season. Whatever. And similar to this, what if Julia Louis-Dreyfus got fired from from the role of Ellen in Seinfeld? And then they basically shut her out, shuffle her out, and basically try to replace her with a hip new character instead. Uh, Ellen is too funny. We don't want that. So that would be the TKO method. But that's for outside entertainment. Maybe that'd be a topic for another day. That was just a little sample of this. I thought today would be a TKO top 10 decision or angles they would have changed. And you're right. I've done this to make me laugh, number one, and maybe hopefully make you laugh. And number 10 would be a basically bold decision, but CM Punk stays fired in 2011 because TKO are not wrestling people. The moment that CM Punk quits WWE, they think that for real that CM Punk is neglecting his work reality, and they don't know that what's a work in a shoot and actually shoot fire him. Like WCW did to Brian Pillman back in 1996. It could create an hilarious scenario. Like his last match defeated John Cena to win the WWE title in his hometown, but they legit fire him. So what does he do? Oh, I don't know. Continue defend his still title, and it would lead to like an hilarious scenario where Vince McMahon would actually try to calm them down and say, "Guys, it's a work." And like, yeah, no, it's not a work. It's our business brand. You can't do this, and that'd be hilarious. So that'd be number 10. Number 9, Andre Giant and Big John Studd do wrestle in the Body Slam Challenge at WrestleMania 1 in a Snickers Body Slam Challenge. And for this to win, you cannot just body slam somebody. If you do, it doesn't count. You have to eat a Snickers and then body slam them. And preferably mug the camera while you're eating that Snickers. Can you imagine that? Like, oh my God, I have to eye rake maybe Big John Studd. That Andre Giant eats the whole Snicker bars. It takes him 2 minutes, and Big John Studd has to sell in the corner. Oh, my eyes for like 2 minutes. It's like you think it was a slow match. Imagine that. That'd be number 9. Number 8, because of time constraints, and TKO doesn't believe in more than 6, 7 matches at most. We're spoiling you guys. We're spoiling you. And plus, we don't want to add, last minute stuff, especially not when it's not in our plans. You know how rigid we are in our plans. If it's not 5 or 6 matches, it doesn't count, regardless what you think. So, therefore, we decide that Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle and TLC2 at WrestleMania 17 will be off the WrestleMania 17 card. We'll prefer to put it on Raw, or preferably a TLC match will be on Jacked. If anybody gets that reference like this, like imagine how stupid it would have been. Take on great WrestleMania 17 pay-per-view and just yeah. That'd be basically what TKO would do. And then they would wonder, like they'd be like the Eric Andre meme, like, are people angry at that? That's basically this. Number 7 for WCW. Goldberg streaks does end, but TKO tried to what they call do cinema when it's just cynic crap. And it's Goldberg beat Scott Hall. He beat Hulk Hogan to win the world title. We have to make it like a movie and make it a link to somebody. So who shall avenge Hogan? No better than his nephew, Horace Hogan. Horace Hogan. Horace Hogan ends the streak of Goldberg. And the crowd is silent. And not silent as in, I can't believe this. This is momentous. It's silent, but pissed. Like, what the hell, man? If you have to end the streak, and it's somebody who deserve its talented, was over, not our ass Hogan. But imagine the crowd's apathy to this. Sorry. Okay, but you could get worse. Number 6, the anonymous GM is revealed to be Nickelback. Nickelback. That's right. It's a code anonymous GM. It's bad enough it was on Swell. It's bad enough it was barely mentioned. But imagine if it's Nickelback for no reason. Because it has to be a celebrity, guys. Jelly Roll wasn't around then. I mean, trying to figure out what a celebrity could have been basically used. A hated celebrity back then, or barely tolerant celebrity would have been then, which could have been, that anonymous GM. Could have been Kevin Federline. But still, he's the guy Kevin Federline was known to be a heel. So imagine that. Like, it would make Hornswoggle's decision to be the anonymous GM make it masterful compared to this. Now in the top 5, guys. It's not a long video. I'm just doing it for fun. Number 5. What if in the bill of WrestleMania 30, we all know it's Batista versus Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan lost Elimination Chamber, was screwed out, just like he was screwed out many times. But you have to give it to WWE, despite Vince McMahon, despite everybody this. Even Vince had to basically be dragged, kicking and screaming, of course, to the idea of Daniel Bryan should win the main event of WrestleMania 30. TKO doesn't do that, though. TKO not only doesn't put Daniel Bryan in the main event, TKO doesn't even book him for WrestleMania. So the whole match is hijacked by we want Bryan or Daniel Bryan throughout the entire main event. And TKO the next day, you say, well, it was a great main event, like Spinal Tap. You remember that meme basically in The Simpsons, like basically after the disastrous concert that Spinal Tap had, and they're like on their bus, say, what a fantastic show. That's what I imagine TKO to be. What a fantastic show, guys. That's exactly how it would turn out. In fact, I think even better, they would fire Daniel Bryan. Because how dare he get involved in their plans directly, brothers? And speaking of that, how about Hulk Hogan returns at WrestleMania 18? I was there live. I saw WrestleMania 18. It was one of the best moments I've seen wrestling live. And truth be told, regardless what you think about the guy Terry Bollea, I'm not a fan of the guy. I'm a fan of Hogan. I'm a fan of the character. Because that charisma at least did reflect back then. But Hogan versus Rock was a momentous match with plenty of moments, plenty of damn good moments. But what if it wasn't a Rock? Now you're probably thinking, maybe it should be a bald-headed, goated guy to face it, wearing black tights. And you're absolutely right. TKO would absolutely do that. They would have Albert face and beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9, at WrestleMania 18. That would be their idea. Imagine that. Imagine you bring him back just to say, well, Albert needs to be put over. Albert needs to be going on to main event the next WrestleMania. And the crowd will go, what the hell's going on, man? That TKO because Albert, unlike Austin, doesn't have that much a great contract. So it's okay. It's okay. We don't have to give him a 50% pay cut. Austin and Rock, though. Number three, Shawn had a great retirement match at WrestleMania 25 and WrestleMania 26 with The Undertaker. And TKO says, well, you know what? We'll do that. However, Shawn doesn't lose with you know, basically a head turning tombstone pile driver. You wouldn't lose to that. You would lose via tap out to the Gogo Plata from Undertaker. The guy who is defiant to the end, was not going to quits. And at the main event WrestleMania, it's actually worse than just Saturday Night Live main event. It's worse. It ends like this. At least Cena knew he was retiring anyway. He wasn't forcing to retire. He was retiring anyway. But when your career's on the line, you're not sure what's going to be the next match, and you actually tap out, that makes it worse. But that's what TKO would do. Now, those are mostly matches with decision. But what if it was angle decision? WrestleMania 5, Elizabeth, Miss Elizabeth, oh yeah, was in the middle of the Macho Man Hulk Hogan Mega Powers breakup. And she never chose anybody. And that's fine. I thought that was a it spoke something about Elizabeth's character, the character of Elizabeth, that she wouldn't take side, and she meant it. Even if Macho Man was her husband, she still was friend with Hogan, and she didn't want to be in the middle of this. She didn't take sides. While she was disappointed with her husband, she didn't take against the side of his husband again. TKO was not going to have a betrayal of Liz turning on Hogan. No. That's Russo. What would TKO do is in the middle of Savage versus Hogan, in the middle of this, the week before WrestleMania, Liz gets released. And it's never mentioned again. Like the whole anchor of the entire angle is taken out, and you're just doing an Io Kari Asuka thing. Of course they will. And you'll watch the show. But number one of the greatest heel turns of all time. One of the greatest face turns of all time, to me, still remains the Virgil Ted DiBiase thing. Because it wasn't just built in one day, 1 month. It was years and years. Both characters that were basically fused together from the beginning of their angle. Like DiBiase and Virgil. Virgil was Ted's bodyguard. And honestly, the first years you felt like the character was getting way along with Ted DiBiase. Until like 990. Well, he was a bit more basically abusive toward Virgil, or at least mocking him, basically taking advantage. And little by little, it wasn't like drastically, like it didn't go drastically from 1 to 10. It went progressively until the point of he physically assaulted him at the Royal Rumble 1981 when Virgil made a mistake. And Virgil apologized and tried to rectify this. He didn't basically let it go. It's like, and Virgil turned face there because you could see he was tired of this, was tired of being demeaned. And it was a great moment. The moment Virgil hit the Ted DiBiase with a $1 million title, the crowd exploded. It was a huge pop. And he was hit by the very belt he made. So to me, there's so many great things about that. As you could say that Virgil's run after Ted DiBiase's feud was meh, but until then, I would say Virgil from WrestleMania 7 to WrestleMania 8, there was a purpose to that character. But what if he continues demeaning Virgil, demeans Virgil until it comes time to Raw Rumble 991, where he's supposed to take on the Rhodes, where Virgil and Ted DiBiase were supposed to take on the Rhodes, and Virgil is not showing up. And not because Virgil didn't show up or no-showed. No, he was let go like a day beforehand. So the match is unprecedentedly changed with Ted DiBiase and Big Bully Busick versus the Rhodes. And somehow, some way, Big Bully Music is taking the abuse right from the get-go. It turns face. That's what the TKO way would do. That's what they would do. Imagine all that. Imagine all this. How TKO would book this, and then still but wonder, why are people less interested? Doesn't matter. Well, they're gonna charge people even more. The TKO way. Anyway, I made myself laugh. I enjoyed this. I hope you did too. So it's not supposed to be long. Let me know what you think, and take care. See you later. See you guys later.